Hi everyone, today we're working on question 380 on LeetCode. It's called insert, delete, get random O of 1. The idea is we want to design a data structure that gets all these operations in average O of 1 time. We want to insert a value, remove a value, and get a random value. Cool. So for this, I'll be using the hash map and array approach, where I'm going to use the hash map to store all the indexes in the array. I'm going to use the the array itself to hold the actual values. So let's try that. So I'm going to call this index map to hold the indices and value array to hold actual values. First part is inserting. We want to insert value to the set, and we want to return true if the set does not already contain the specified element. So if it doesn't contain the specified element, that's an edge case. So let's just put that down right now. So if val in this index map, if it's already inside the mapping, you don't have to insert it anymore. So we just return false. Otherwise, we just put it inside our mapping array. So I'm going to put it in the map first. I'm going to explain why in just a bit. Instead to this value array drawing. The reason why I'm doing this first is because the first index of an array is 0. So initially the array length is 0. So we want to map out this value such that its index is 0. So then we just push it into the value array. Push val. Once we do all this, we just return the boolean true. And that's it for that part. Now removing is the opposite edge case. If the value is not inside our hash map, so something like this, then we can return false because we can't take out something that's not inside there. Now for removing, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to do kind of a two-step operation. First, I'm going to take the back of the array as well as the index of the array that holds the value, and I'm going to make that index that holds the value into the back of the array. This way, I can just pop it out of the back of the array as if it held the value that we want to delete, and we know that pop is a O of 1 operation. So maybe it's better if I just type it out and then illustrate it afterwards. So what I'm going to do is this, let original equals this value and be the end of the array. So this value array, this value array minus 1. We'll say this index map the n equals to original, so this is my swap. Value array original equals n. Then we want to delete it from both of my data structures. So I'm going to delete it from my array and map. So I can just say delete this index map of the value, and once again we can just remove it from the value array by popping it. And we want to return true afterwards. Cool. So let's take a look at it with an example like this, where we have something like this originally, and we want to remove 1. Okay. So if we want to remove 1 from here, 1 is at index 0, and the back of the array is 2. So I'm going to make that 1 that we have now 2. I'm going to change the index of that 2 to 0 because now that's where it actually is. And now I can just pop out the last value. Notice I don't actually have to change the last value of the array because it's being popped anyways. So if I wanted to make this more clear, I could have made this 2 and 1. So this would be a 1 at the end of the array here. But it's unneeded because it's being popped out anyways. So if I console.log this afterwards, this index array, this value array, we can see what happens. This index, oops, this should be this, and this should be this too. Sorry, my bad. Let's try that again. Yep, so we can see that the last 2 at the end just popped out, and we're left with this instead. We're not done with the question yet because we still want to do the GetRandom function. The GetRandom function is really straightforward. We just want to return a random value that we have from the value array. To do that, we just do value array. We can use the built-in math.for and math random functions. This value array. And let's see if this works. Cool, works just fine. Let's submit it. Oops. Just realized it might take a long time to judge because I'm console logging everything. But okay, let's try that again. Cool. So it works just fine. One more thing to note: if you are unsure about how math.for and math.random works, math.random gives you a random float value between 0 and 1. So if you multiply that by the length, you get a random value between 0 and the length as a decimal. Then we truncate it using math.floor to get the index, and we'll just return that index. Cool. That just about wraps up this question. I would say definitely the most confusing part of the question is the removal of it. But once you get a decent understanding of how this operation works, it's not that bad. So with that, I'll put a link to the question as well as my GitHub down below, and I'll see you guys next time.